Good morning. My, how time does fly. Already Friday morning as we head into Memorial Day weekend. Right now the temperature has dropped a little bit. We're down to 59, only 82 today. So it's a nice sunshiny day, and that will continue all weekend through Memorial Day as we get ready for the festivities and the service, 10 a.m. at the courthouse on Monday. I hope you can make it out for that. Always good to support the folks who gave all for our country, for our freedoms. Again, we'll talk about this morning in a little bit. It will be ramped up. Every police department, near and far, no matter where you're watching me from, the Mississippi Highway Patrol, the Alabama Highway Patrol, if you're watching from Louisiana, no matter what state, they will be in full force this weekend as they try to keep the streets safe for everyone. There's a lot going on. I'm not sure that I can fit it all in 30 minutes this morning. If not, we'll just roll that over to the 8 a.m. show of what is going on, of what happened yesterday and all that went around in our area. One of the things that I wanted to mention was I-20 yesterday afternoon. We had a bit of a small traffic delay there. A log from a log truck fell off in the middle of I-20 in the eastbound lane, right there at the I-59 cutoff at the airport, the split. That caused a minor traffic accident yesterday. Everything was cleaned up, but that did delay things. And then we would find out, let me go back over here, there was a wreck right down from there. Not long after that, a separate wreck that occurred yesterday afternoon. I'm getting my days mixed up, aren't we? That happened yesterday, and I'm scrolling down to get the exact location of that. It was mile marker 142 on I-59 after the split. Single vehicle accident, had some injuries with it as a car had wrecked. I haven't gotten any more news on the condition of the person, but it was a wreck there. A lot of people asked about that yesterday afternoon. Be careful. These things we're rolling in today as our Memorial Day weekend, as they will count numbers of what went on. All right, the first thing that we want to move to, let's get this morning going as we look at this. Jasper County was the scene of Mississippi Highway Patrol as deputies from Jasper County were chasing someone. Mississippi Highway Patrol joined in. Speeds of 90 to 100 miles an hour. A trooper was able to get in front, slow him down a little bit, and as we all know how these things turn out, he drove his car into an oncoming car. It was minor since the speed was not as high as it could have been. As we go to Clark County Hot Topics, they've got a picture of the incident where it went on. Here's the scene there after the wreck. I don't think anyone was seriously injured after that. That could have been so much different if the trooper hadn't got in front and slowed everything down. So we're glad it had a good ending to a bad ending, if that makes sense. I hope so. As we look around, a man was shot in Meridian last night. We'll talk about all the shots that were fired in our area, but we did have one man shot. It was a shot to the arm. It was a dispute, from what I'm understanding, with a neighbor over a dog. Now, I've gotten the official report that I get from MPD is a dispute between neighbors and someone was shot in the arm. I've gotten a lot more inbox messages with that circumstances, but officially we will call that a dispute, as one man got shot in the arm over that. We'll dig deeper into this. It sounds like there could be a little bit more involved with that, of the argument, what led to all of that. We'll see if we can't get to the bottom of that. It's never good that a dispute turns to a gun, is it? I don't think so. That someone could die over that. You just don't do that. Do not let tempers flare to where a gun is pulled and you think that's your only option. That is only pulled when you have no option. A few minutes later, and we don't have all the details on this, but also at the same time, a Meridian police officer had to shoot a dog last night. It was reported he was being attacked. He had no choice in the matter but to pull his revolver and put the animal down. Is it tied to this same situation? It's in the same area. It could be a tie-in here. We'll see what else information that we can get on that. If you've got a vicious dog that attacks, you have no choice. And a Meridian police officer had to do that. He's okay, and that's what we know about that at this point. We hope all is well on that. Now, as I said in the studio last night, I kept getting bing, 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 this is going on. We had several different areas of shots fired. And let's go to our screen to take a look at our first one. Let me double check myself here, making sure I give the right addresses. Shots were fired in this area in the city limits of Meridian last night. As we pull this up, the 3100 block is where we'll go here. Here's Magnolia Cemetery. Here's Lake Ross Collins. This is going to be southwest of Meridian High School, due east of Highland Baptist Church. We move in here to the 3100 block of 27th Street. Shots were reported. No injuries and no damage reported with that. Still, so one shot in the air. We also had reports out Bonita Lakes early in the early morning hours. I had a report of this also as we pulled this up. Shots in this area here. Whoever it was went this direction toward 19 after about 5 shots were fired. We're assuming that they were in the air and no one was hurt. We haven't gotten a report of damage or anything to that nature. If there's a silver lining in anything, I guess that would be it, that no one was hurt. We also had reports as we go here to State Boulevard. Right off of State Boulevard, we had reports of shots fired last night. The 4700 block of State Boulevard. Here's Royal Road. We know that there's been several shootings in that area. This would be right down from El Bethel Baptist Church. Right in this area here on State Boulevard, 22nd Street is where that would occur. No injuries reported with that, but shots were fired. The next thing that, and this is happened several times in the area. It happened two months ago of large crowds. The first time this was reported, it was out of Bonita Lakes, and then also at the park there on Highway 39 where everybody goes and walks. There was a report of a large crowd last night. As school gets out, we do expect more of this. The parking lot was full. Police responded to that. No incidents, no arrest or anything, but some concerns of large crowds with that. If you'll remember the last time. We'll watch that. It may be anything to it. It may be just kids gathering. We hope it stays that way. We don't need any trouble in those areas, and hopefully security will be beefed up in these places where people walk and go out for exercise. Both places are that way. So we certainly hope that everything is handled that way. As we mentioned, before you get on the roads this weekend, check a couple things because it is easy. You get in your day-to-day routine of what you do. Open your wallet today or your purse, whatever you've got. Make sure that your driver's license are current. You can renew them online in most cases, but so many times we fail to go get them renewed. Your birthday comes and you don't think of it. The Mississippi Highway Patrol will be out in full force along with the Meridian PD, Marion PD, Philadelphia. We go to Newton, no matter where you're at. Across the Alabama line, they're going to be in full force. Make sure your insurance card is in your car, that you've got that. They'll ask for that at these road stops, and we all know those are coming. Why are they done? For your safety, to keep people off of the highways that drink and drive and cause problems for families. We don't want anyone hurt. I'd like to report to you Monday afternoon that as the holiday, or Tuesday morning, whenever it's cut off there at midnight, that nothing happened. We certainly hope so. This is before it's all calm. Let's make everybody safe. Let's hope it continues that way. As we go to Mississippi, we start looking around at what's going on. An ex-deputy warden has pleaded guilty in Mississippi to the beating of an inmate. It happened back in 2016. It's getting serious is the case on this. This happened over at what everybody calls Parchman. Melvin Hilson has pleaded guilty. He could face some serious crimes over this. Faces up to 10 years and a possibility of a $250,000 fine. There's no reason to beat him. He was not in any danger as video emerges from this. More to follow on that, but he's pleaded guilty to it. He goes to prison, it won't be good for him. We know how that works with guards after they've been in there and then they're put into general population. Jackson, Mississippi, doesn't get any better. I wish I could tell you that Jackson is all sunny today and nothing is going on. As we look for the headlines in Jackson, Mississippi, a 12-year-old fatally shot in a drive-by yesterday afternoon. A 12-year-old. Jackson, Mississippi. Crime never sleeps there. It's continuous in Jackson. And as we look at Meridian, are we that bad? No. And we don't want it to be. And that's why we bring awareness what happens in our area. whether it's here, Philadelphia, if you're looking to Louisville, if you're watching me from there, if you're going south from here, Waynesboro, you don't want this in your town. And no matter where we are, let's draw a line and stop it. So we'll keep reporting it so that you know about it, to where you can keep an eye out, report what you see. Let's put an end to crime as much as we can. But Jackson, a 12-year-old. Mississippi has made an arrest of a North Carolina man. How did this come about? A man was accused of killing his wife in North Carolina. He was found in Mississippi, in Biloxi, as a matter of fact. They arrested Lawrence Cortez. He was 51 years old. They found his wife after she didn't come to work several days. She was a nurse. Her co-workers reported it, found it in their condo that she was deceased. He was wanted in connection with this. He's been arrested. He's going to be transported back to North Carolina to face these charges. As we look around Mississippi, this is a hot topic nationwide as we wait. We are not sure when the U.S. Supreme Court will make the announcement of Roe versus Wade. But again, as the media pushes this, remember, if the Supreme Court makes a decision, it gives the state rights. As all of these different activist groups take to the streets to protest, it's fine. This is America. You can protest. But remember, all this is changing is that each state has the right to choose whether they want abortion or not. So far, it looks like about 26 states will ban it. The rest, out of the 50, you do the mathematics on that, will still do that. As we look around, abortion rights put graffiti on a rural Mississippi church. Why? They took spray paint and went all over the church there. It was done at Mount Avery Missionary Baptist Church in southeastern Lowndes County. They put, "Keep your laws off my body. Girls want to have fundamental human rights." Written on a church. That's not right. We all know that. Just because you don't agree with something doesn't give you the right to destroy someone else's property. They haven't made an arrest in this, and we certainly hope they do. As we look around, another just hot topic. You never would think that the land of milk and honey would be at a short, would you? I wouldn't. Of baby food. This is huge. We've seen 2 children in Memphis, Tennessee, already taken for malnutrition. A Pascagoula mother is started a GoFundMe to help buy formula for families that don't have it. Interesting. We also look around, and Michael Guest has created a website to help find baby formula. I'll get that, and we'll get that website put up to where you can look at it as well. Maybe it'll be a quick link to where you can look around for that. But again, that's Michael Guest setting that up. Hopefully that will be handy to someone as we go through this. Mississippi has charged some folks that have been in a multi-state ring, ripping off Lowe's. What it amounted to was a man would make a large order under another company. He'd send 2 people to Lowe's to pick it up. They were from Mississippi. Then they would resell the products. It was all a lie. They were thieves. They've been arrested. Again, 2 from Mississippi and 1 from Tennessee. He was kind of the guy over it. And then we wonder why prices skyrocket. There's criminals all the time. That's sad to report. Someone's out a lot of money. They work hard to pay their employees, and you've got people like this doing these things. Hopefully they'll go to jail for a long time and be taught a lesson. Natchez, Mississippi, yesterday afternoon. This has happened in a lot of towns. Shots were fired at a car dealership. It was really close to a school. They had to put the school on lockdown for a little while. No word yet why he was mad at the car dealership, but he did fire 1 round. Natchez, Mississippi. Let's hope they get that under control there. Vicksburg. It's not far from here. We go over there all the time, don't we? 2.5 hours from here. Somewhere in that neighborhood as you go to the river. A lady more or less robbed a jewelry store, took $14,000 worth of jewelry, ran to her car and took off. As she went to take off, she busted her tire on the curb. She still drove off. A little bit later, police would find the car on the side of the road. There'd be 2 men helping her change the tires. Police came. They all, I guess it's kind of like the old saying, when the light comes on, how the roaches scramble. That's what they did. They were all caught, 3 arrested in connection to that robbery. Good ending to that, isn't it? As we horrible thing that happened in our nation as we look to Texas, as we look at a few of these national headlines. A good ending to this, Texas have arrested 4 males, including 2 juveniles, with connection to another threat to another school. It was stopped before anything happened. That is good. Just goes on and on and on. I keep reading this morning to where there's going to be a lot of investigations into this school of why it was not responded. I'm not sure if everybody is aware that it was an hour before anybody would go in. Why, we don't know. I'm not going to accuse anybody of not doing their job, but that's a long time to keep an active shooter in a school and no one go in. An hour. It was an hour and a half. 90 minutes is what I was told. 90 minutes. Beto O'Rourke. I think y'all know him. He ran for governor last time. He got some pretty high numbers there. He's shifting his position, as we all know that he busted in on the solitary moment that was meant for these families that were suffering, where their children were murdered. He busted in on the press conference, causing a scene for self-promoting himself against guns. It didn't go over quite as well as he thought. It's kind of a backlash on that. America didn't like it. He thought he was going to be the hero for standing up. It didn't work on that. But as he's been watching his polls, and if you dig into this, his stance against guns, he's been falling behind little by little against the Texas governor. So he's been adjusting what he has to say. He's gone in to where on his website, where he was at one time totally against AR-15s and AK-47s, he's adjusted his worry on that. Now the AK-47 has been dropped. He's realizing that, well, maybe it's not as big as he thinks he is. He's having to adjust to try to get in more voters. Is he against your guns? He absolutely is. Keep that in mind if you're from Texas and you like gun laws. You like guns. If you're against them, then he's your man. This was horrifying yesterday. I'm sure by now you've heard the story of the school teacher that lost her life with her class, nearly her whole class, 19 children. The husband of this, of her, had a heart attack and died. He was heartbroken. Tragedy. They were high school sweethearts. They leave behind 4 children that now don't have parents. Put yourself in that family's place. Each one of these children is awful, awful. As we start changing the subject here and looking at other things that are going on across America this morning, Elon Musk. And mark my word, it may not be 24. It'll be sometime, and it may be 24 as he builds up. You will see Elon Musk one day announce that he's going to run for president. You watch that. That will happen. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to happen in 24, but eventually, he is the world's richest man. He had he's buying Twitter. We all know that, to try to put it back to where you can have free speech. He's building a platform. As we look at the latest that he has to say, he said this yesterday about the recession. He says it may be a good thing to have a recession because it will hurt the unproductive work-from-home crowd and the foolish business owners, he says, that deserve to go bankrupt. People that really don't want to go to work. They fight the companies of, you got to come back and start doing your job. He's saying that it'll thin them out. Those who don't want to work and aren't productive for the United States. He's playing on that hard-working American side. We'll watch this closely, but y'all watch. This will come about. We'll wake up one morning. He'll be your next Trump that knows how to run a business, has been successful. He's successful at something. He is the world's richest man, isn't he? And then most Americans would go, well, if he can do that for himself, what can he do for America? Donald Trump, very successful, was doing a great job. Not all agreed with that statement that I just made, but overall, think back, you were paying $1.69 a gallon. Had money in your pocket. Now you can't afford bacon. You can't afford to go anywhere for Memorial Day weekend at $4.29 a gallon. A lot of people I've seen across the state of Mississippi right now have cut back, where the folks that are out there in the camper world that go around Memorial Day, go set up camp for the weekend, are taking shorter trips. I would think that Oak Tibby and Clarko are full this weekend of people that, well, I want to do it, but I'm not going far. That pocketbook really adjusts how you vote. November is coming. As we look here, why people do this, we don't know. A Brooklyn man went to look at a luxury hotel, a skylined hotel. After he got in, he jumped. went to the edge and jumped over. I hate to be that real estate agent. A lot of push as we look at Houston as the NRA is getting ready for their convention. It was a lot of this, that, and the other. Governor Greg Abbott not attending now. You've got Don McLean, Mr. American Pie, has refused to come sing. This one shocks me. I guess the backlash was too much for him to handle, but Lee Greenwood has dropped out also of singing the national anthem at the NRA this conference that's coming up. Didn't expect that from him. He may have his reasons. Tucker Carlson on this, what I mentioned just a moment ago about the cops that did not go in quick enough. 90 minutes they waited. Tucker Carlson is calling for an investigation of this. He says they're spreading lies and putting things to the media. It's just simply not true that was too long to wait as children were trapped. We'll watch that. That's some of the headlines there. Whew. Good morning. We got weather still to come. Clarence Westbrook, how are you doing? And Clarence sent me a picture. I don't have it handy there, of one of the Border Patrol agents that rushed to it that was far away. He heard the call and he got there. He was one of the ones that ran in, took this guy out. Have y'all seen that in the ball cap, to where as a bullet grazed across the top of the ball cap? Well, the first time I saw the cap, I thought, well, there's not much to it. But as you dig into this, the agent has a scalp wound where the bullet grazed his head. He's okay, but it took a hunk of hide off of his head as he broke in and got that guy. One of the guys was getting a haircut and took off. Joined in. Glad it was put to an end. Good morning, Sandy White. Glad to see you joining us. Bree Packer is up. Glad to see y'all. A lot of folks stirring today. We're going to check your forecast next. Don't go anywhere as we begin this Friday morning for you. Y'all stay close.
At the Back Porch, we're bringing families back together for fun, food, and all the things you love to enjoy around your home. Every event starts with a great grill, great cookware, and accessories. Add in some locally sourced meat and dairy, along with frozen vegetables and casseroles, and over 500 brands of spices and sauces. Relax in our chairs, swings, day beds, and have fun with our cornhole boards. From coolers to trailers, we have everything you need. When you see the big chair, you've made it to the Back Porch.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings. Fresh blueberries, $3.39 for a pint. Fresh strawberries, $3.39. An 8-pound bag of Idaho potatoes, $3.99. Fresh leg quarters, a 10-pound bag, $6.99. Twin pack Boston butts, $1.79 a pound. A1 steak sauce, 10-ounce bottle, $3.89. And family pack select T-bone steaks, $7.99 a pound.
We're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Ribs and a whole lot more, whatever you're cooking this weekend, Joe will have for you there at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. As we go to Meridian Honda Radar, let's take a look at what we've got across the nation this morning. Our area shows that, well, it's all sunny. Perfect weather. As we go down to the Alabama coastline, Florida line, we'll see that, what's this? Fog all in the area there. Crestview, Destin, if you're there, there's fog in there. All the way up to Enterprise, Dothan, Alabama, getting a lot of fog this morning. If you're on the Gulf Shores, looks great. Biloxi. Yeah, perfect weather there. We do have some light showers over here in this area that's going to be affecting Apalachicola. Also, Gainesville, this area here is going to get some rain today. And as we go up through Charleston, South Carolina, look at this. Greensboro, look at the showers that are moving there through the Carolinas. Be careful if you're traveling those areas. You've got a truck driver in your family especially. Pittsburgh, those areas wet this morning. As we'll go across this, Indianapolis, a lot of rain there as well this morning. We go up through, let's see what these areas. We've got a bunch of fog up in Des Moines, Iowa. Minneapolis, we got fog. Be careful there. Also, as always, we got some showers out in Portland, Oregon as we come down the coastline there. Looks good in Las Vegas today, but they don't want you to burn either as you got that fire warning. You'll have that also as you come right through here in Santa Fe out in New Mexico, those areas. Corpus Christi, if you're there along the coastline, also we've got fog there this morning. Overall, looks great. Mississippi, Alabama, it's going to be perfect weather as we go into this Memorial Day weekend. All right, let's get a closer look at this and see what the National Weather Service has for us.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
Almost makes you want to break into the John Denver sunshine on my shoulder. We'll have it this weekend on your shoulder as we look for a high of 82 today in Meridian as we go northward through Philadelphia, Noxapater, those areas up past Louisville into Mississippi State. around 80 degrees. Not bad at all. Over to our west, 81 in Vicksburg. Warmer as you get toward the Mississippi Gulf Coast, 84 in Hattiesburg. Perfect weather, nothing to complain about. As we go across that Bama state line, it's perfect weather there as well. It's almost ditto. 83 in Demopolis today. Tuscaloosa, y'all see 81. Over to Auburn, 80 as we glance around the state. And you get down to Troy and those areas toward the coast on further south, the warmer you'll see there. Livingston, looks like y'all have about 82 as well with sunshine. As we look at this, no break on the heat. We've got that heat wave still there. It'll be normal through Nevada and those areas. But eastern Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the Carolinas, it's warm. As we look at our 7-day forecast now to walk you through what we've got today. A clear sky today. You couldn't ask for anything any better and cooler than most days. Enjoy it while you can. 81 to 82 for the high today. Tonight, a clear sky and perfect weather for a cracked window if you feel safe. If you don't, keep it locked. But 57 tonight. As we go to tomorrow, 85, a little bit warmer for your weekend. Sunday, we'll get 87. And look at Monday as we bring in Memorial Day. Perfect weather for all of the festivities as we'll have our service in downtown Meridian at 10 a.m., 88 for the high and a clear sky. Tuesday, 90 high. Ooh, look there. Rain chances start moving back in as we get toward the weekend on this. 91 on Thursday with a 30% chance of showers. Let's go ahead another week into June and see what we've got. All the way through June the 10th, we'll get back into that 90-degree weather, and it will be hard to shake after that. As we look all the way through the 10th, we're at 91. The good news that I'm not telling you here is we don't see any 97, 98s yet. Thank heavens. Let's put that off as long as we can keep that away from us. Now, as we go to our tropical look, let's see what we've got. We go back here to take a look. National Hurricane Center tells us there's nothing out there at this point, not for the next 5 days anyway. We've looked at that, the 48, the 5 days. Are there things brewing out there that could become something? Yes, there's a lot of forecasters that are watching, but nothing that is a threat of yet. Always the first when everybody's on their tippy toes and they're trying to discover when it's going to happen. We'll watch this closely. Should something become of what other forecasters are saying, we'll bring that to you. But at this point, National Weather Service, 0% chance that become a threat. As we look at our fishing calendar today, Chet's Paint and Body brings it to us. If you're ready to go, be there about 11 o'clock today. Just take your lunch, take your sandwich with you, and through about 1 o'clock, it'll be great fishing. That's your best times today as we look at another time late this afternoon, right at dark. Maybe you can't get away from work. Be there at 6 and stay to about 7:15 till about dark. It'll be perfect for you. The wind's going to be light west wind becoming west-northwest. That's confusing, isn't it? A lot of different changes there. 10 to 15 is what we've got there. We'll watch it and let you know if that changes. We are an hour and 1 minute away from coming back live. There's a benefit coming up in the Clark County area. We've got Jerry Mason coming in to tell you about how you can help a benefit for a young lady in Clark County this morning with Candace and I. We're going to tell you all the things that are going on, what's happening in the nation, and ask for your input. Good morning from Newton, Mississippi. Georgia Henson, glad to see you there. Lamar Henry's up. Kemper County, good to see you there. A lot of folks in different places. We appreciate that. As we said, we'll be back. We'll give you the absolute latest news of what's going on in and around our area and headlines as well from the state across the nation. We'll see you back live here with Scotty Ray and Candace beginning at 8. Thanks for dropping by and spending some time with the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: